Dear Mark, I don't know why I'm writing this to you. Maybe because you're the only friend I've ever truly trusted. Tonight, a stranger's phone call put my 12-year marriage into question. He said, "Your wife is at the Riverside Inn in room 23 right now." I thought you knew. At first I laughed, because a marriage doesn't fall apart over an anonymous call. But the Riverside Inn was the same place, where we celebrated our first anniversary. My heart grew restless, and I drove there to find out the truth. It was raining, and my hands were shaking as I stood outside. Room 23. I could hear her laughter from inside. I knocked on the door, and when it opened, my world changed. She wasn't alone. My business partner was standing behind her, the man I once called a brother. I asked only one question: how long? But her silence was the loudest answer of all. The next morning, I didn't feel anger. I felt clarity. I realized the betrayal wasn't just about that night in room 23. It had probably been building for months. The woman I trusted with my heart, and the man I trusted with my business had both chosen lies over loyalty. And in that moment, I understood something painful but freeing. Sometimes, losing people is the only way to save yourself. By the end of the week, I had made my decision. I filed for divorce and started ending the business partnership I once thought would last forever. It wasn't about revenge, it was about reclaiming my life. Every night I replayed the image of room 23, her laughter echoing in my head, Daniel's smug face, and the shock that had frozen me in place. That night revealed more than just betrayal. It revealed my own strength. I realized that loyalty is rare, and when it's broken, you either crumble or rise stronger. I chose to rise. I spent the next few days quietly organizing everything. Divorce papers ready. Partnership dissolution in motion. I didn't confront them aggressively, and I didn't need to. The calmness in my actions was louder than any shouting or accusation could be. Sometimes the quietest moves carry the heaviest impact. I reviewed the finances, checked old emails, and prepared for every eventuality. It was methodical, precise, and oddly satisfying. For the first time, I felt in control of a situation that had seemed utterly chaotic. And when the time came to deliver the papers, I didn't yell, I didn't beg, I didn't cry. I simply handed them over and walked out. That small act carried more weight than any confrontation could. Emily looked shocked. Daniel panicked, but I was unmoved. I had accepted the truth and decided to build a life that no one could shake. Room 23 didn't break me. It showed me what I was capable of. And for the first time in years, I felt free, sharp, and unstoppable. Agar aap chahein to main. Weeks passed and life began to feel different, lighter, sharper, almost electric. I stopped waiting for apologies that would never come and started focusing on myself. Mornings became mine again. Long runs through the city streets, coffee in hand, watching the skyline wake up while planning my next moves. Work no longer felt like a trap. It became a tool. I met with old friends I had neglected, laughed without hesitation, and even started taking small risks I would have once avoided. Every decision reminded me that freedom isn't given. It's earned. Sometimes in the hardest ways. Emily tried reaching out once more, a desperate message, but I didn't reply. There was nothing left to say. The betrayal had shown its face, and I had looked it straight in the eyes. Daniel, on the other hand, was nowhere to be found in the office I once shared with him. The quiet after the storm was satisfying in a way anger never could be. I realized that life doesn't need to be dramatic to be meaningful. It needs to be intentional. By the end of the month, I had reclaimed my space, my time, and my peace. Room 23 wasn't a symbol of heartbreak anymore. It was the turning point. It was the night that forced me to see who I really was, what I valued, and what I was capable of becoming. Betrayal had tried to define me, but instead, it refined me. And for the first time in years, I felt a sense of power and clarity that no one could take away.